Well, well, whoops. Hey everyone. It's been a minute. More than a minute, in fact. More than a couple minutes, indeed. That's right. If you're wondering just how long exactly Andre could possibly procrastinate playing like 10 minutes of Cave Story, you have your answer. More than a month. That's how long. Yes, it's been a minute. Now, to get the excuses right off the back, not everything was procrastination that happened over the last couple of weeks. I've had one hell of a time with university. I think I already talked about last time about my exam phase coming up, and I might have mentioned that I wasn't quite prepared for the exams, with which I meant I hadn't even started learning by the last time I streamed this game. Which kind of ended up causing some issues, if you want to believe that. More than a few issues, in fact. I quickly after stream, well, 1 or 2 weeks after stream. No, it was pretty much exactly after stream that I started panicking and started desperately learning, and I survived the whole exam ordeal somehow. It wasn't just exam. I think I talked about all of this stuff, but it was also a project I had to work on, plus a 60-page something paper, and a lot of work, basically. And that was what was keeping me these last few weeks. That's now over. Semester's over, finally. Next semester is going to be even worse. That's going to be fun. 6 different modules. We also have a special deal with our university where for most of the modules we do not graded practice work, but they want you to do a certain percentage of all exercises and practice stuff they hand you to, so you're allowed to write the exam at the end, which, I mean, in theory is good. I mean, one huge thing we deal over here in Germany, I guess it's the same for a lot of other countries, is that a lot of people that start studying don't end their studies. Now in Germany, depending on the state of Germany you're in, it's not that big of a deal. Here in Bavaria, all studies are heavily substituted by the government, so you can start and stop studying basically without losing all that much money. In other countries, it's a significantly bigger issue. I mean, it's still a big issue for even with substituted study costs. I mean, the government isn't going to like you just spending or having them spend several thousands or tens of thousands in substitution money on embarking on a study that you're not going to complete. So obviously, it sucks either way. But that was the university I study at. That was their idea to retain more students across the years. At least in IT, it doesn't look like it worked out all that great, because in one of my adjacent courses, they basically they started off at about 110, ended with, I think, less than 30, which is pretty fucking rough. But I mean, it is IT. You either enjoy it or you don't enjoy it, and especially if you don't have any experience in the field, or struggle with mathematics or that sort of thing, yeah, you're gonna have a hard time. I don't really understand how people underestimate that stuff too. At least in my okay, to be fair, I'm fucking completely overexposed to this stuff, so I basically knew what I was getting myself into. But I think that's actually another thing the university does. It front loads a lot of the mathematics you're going to have into the early semesters as another sorting mechanism, because if you're going to abort the studying, at least do it early is the thought, which of course also makes sense. It's not just better for the university and the government, but also for yourself, so you got more time to figure out what you want to do. But I personally, and a lot of people I knew, and basically everyone I talked to during the study, or throughout my course, basically either knew that there was going to be a lot of mathematics involved, and that was going to be the hard part of the whole course, Or they actually said, including myself, expected a lot more mathematics, and it ended up being significantly less worse than expected. I'm no prodigy at mathematics myself. I did actually incredibly well with mathematics, significantly better than I'm used to for myself. It also has a lot to do with that's something I struggle with. I don't know if it's something other people struggle with, but applied stuff versus theoretical stuff. I think I talked about this before, but you can explain curves to me all day, every day, no matter how much you want. And just plotting curves out on a graph, okay, it's going to be difficult for me. The second you give me some practical thing to do, like, I don't know, you have an airplane descending at this rate exponentially. Okay, probably okay, maybe reverse. What's reverse exponential called in English? I don't remember. But basically converging towards zero. You wouldn't want the aircraft to fall exponentially, right? Preferably you want to converge it at zero. Or at some point. You wouldn't want it to converge to zero if it's fucking flying in the Alps either, but you know what I'm getting at. Give me something like that and I usually do perfectly fine. The second it becomes wholly theoretical, that's usually where I struggle. And that's the great thing about IT. You get... Not always, that was also the problem, that a lot of the mathematics was also very theoretical and not that applied, or not as applied as it could be. But on the other end, a lot of it was, and that helped me immensely. But, you know, that was my little rant about university and all that stuff. But yes, I survived my semester. It was rough, but I'm through. Next semester, like I said, is going to be very, very, very rough. But I'll survive that too. And then it's one more semester for my master's, and then... I don't know. Sorry for hitting the microphone, but whatever comes after that. I haven't thought that far ahead. Really, this master has been sort of a stalling tactic, and it's not worked out that well, considering how much time I lost last semester. I almost think I would have done better with a job, because at least I would have some money to spend on, you know, equipment and stuff. But oh well. So right, exams, project, everything that's done. Last week has been partial R&R because I was operating on a very, very, very heavy lack of sleep. And that needed a bit of catching up. My body basically told me that I pushed it to the limit for the first time in a long while. And so I was completely down and out for like 2 or 3 days. And since then, I've slowly now recovered. I'm getting back into things. The Rykani cast episode 2, which last time I streamed this game, I said could be out by the weekend. No. Basically, the entire script was not scratched, but redone. And I'm way happy with the end result now. It's significantly better. It still needs a fair bit of work. Theoretically, all recording is done, but I think significant parts of it need to be redone, sadly. I either have to redo it, or I have to slow down my voice, because I was starting out reading, and I just couldn't get into the reading flow. So, you know, I have my big script in front of me, because, like I said, I wanted to script these things out, which I thought would be a easier and faster way of recording them. No. Wasn't, obviously, because then I get lost in the writing process, but I have my script in front of me, my mic here, and I basically read along. And I couldn't get into the flow. And for the longest time, I recorded across several days, because I just had such a hard time. I couldn't get into the flow. And then eventually I did. And I think you also hear it in the first episode, where it starts off a bit rough, a bit maybe too fast at the beginning, and then during the middle of Rykani Cast episode 1, I really get into the flow. And it just works. And that happened with episode 2. But I couldn't figure out why the first part just didn't work out. And then I listened to it in post when I was starting to, you know, edit out the outtakes, the breathing, everything that you wouldn't want to be there in the final version. And I noticed that I was speaking like a fucking maniac during the first part. I was speaking like I was high on fucking 15 kilograms of cocaine. I was basically going at triple speed. Holy shit. And so I either have to slow down this audio or preferably re-record it. Probably just re-record it. It's probably easier just to re-record it. I tried slowing it down. It wouldn't take much, 2 or 3%. And if you hadn't heard it from me, you probably wouldn't notice at that point. Because that's something I usually, especially in terms of audio quality. I'm no audiophile, but I wouldn't want my stuff to sound weird or anything. Having struggled with shitty microphones as long as I have, especially, I kind of, this isn't the best setup I could do, obviously. This is a very old, very no longer in the best state Blue Yeti, but it does its job fine. I should look into it a bit more. I recently found a way to make it sound even better, just not in real time. Maybe there's a way I can apply that to real time. Looked at another couple of things I could do. But really, this serves me well enough. But, once it gets to slowing audio and that sort of stuff, it always gets a bit complicated. Because it's very hard to not make you hear it. Same with pitch shifting or so, but I usually don't do pitch shifting. Maybe, why the fuck would I? My voice being okay, I could pitch it up, I guess. But definitely not down. But pitching up, now you hear both pretty easily. Nah. So yeah, voice work. Probably have to re-record major parts of it. And then I'm still struggling with the visual part. I might, at this point, sunken cost fallacy, I probably should do visuals. Probably, yes, probably. I could. Simple visuals, no graphics, no. Basically, some sketches in the style of the Rykani basics. I think that would be good. I think that should be done. Just there's something. It doesn't have to be much. It's supposed to be audio only, with just some supplemental stuff in visuals. For those who want it, it would be just a couple of sketches on screen, and that'd be it. I think I'm gonna do that. It wouldn't be much that would be required at this point. Yeah, I'll probably do that. And so I can't promise any release date for the next episode. I want to do it before the 24th, because that's the second announcement I can do, is that I'll be back on the Brewcast on August 24th at 16 o'clock CST. Whatever that is in your time zone, no idea. No topics or anything set out. Expected to be as wild as the last one. I don't intend to totally get shit-faced this time around, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But heavily looking forward to it. I mean, the Brewcast episode was what got this whole thing started and got me to this point. So talking to Bruno again, it's gonna be a wild trip. So I'm already looking forward to it. Right, comic. Obviously had little to no time with the exams, so the work really only started last couple of days. And if you read the dev commentary on my website for the last page, I really wasn't too happy with it, and the few pages before that. So trying a couple new things out. Nothing too radical, but I got a couple ideas, and it's gonna take another bit. It shouldn't take more than a week. Probably a week. The Monday, so that'd be the 12th, probably at the latest. That's my goal. Exactly. Yeah, no. That's probably, I'm probably gonna make that. Game is also coming along. That's the other thing. So you can see why I'm running into so many time issues with all my projects. Game is coming along. I want to do some... The big problem we have right now is just too many debug graphics. It's coming along actually pretty nicely. Especially the technical stuff is... There's some really cool shit in there. But programmer graphics for now. And we're currently in the process of replacing some of those. That's coming along very slowly. I probably want to do a couple of teasers at some point within the coming month. Maybe something for Brewcast, but I can't promise anything. But that would be, I guess, that'd be cool feature. But otherwise, it's coming on again. There's the problem that, I mean, UI, everything, it all exists. It just looks pretty bad because You might have noticed that I'm not exactly the person to do fine detailing work in anything I touch. So I'm perfectly fine with the UI just being blocks of color. But other people are not. And obviously, visuals matter a whole lot to people. Not so much for me. I've got fucking no problem playing Dwarf Fortress in ASCII mode, but other people may disagree with that. So, you know, we probably want to polish this, the current build up a bit, and then probably not even do, or do selective parts of gameplay as a short teaser, and then at some point, probably once what we are calling the prototype is finished, we'll do a proper expose. Maybe I'll record an episode with all 3 major developers, and we'll talk about our idea for the game or whatever. Something along those lines. Just getting the prototype done and then putting it out there and seeing how people like it. Exactly. That's the idea. I think I'm mostly through this document. Right. No game streams in the future. You can already tell by how long this thing took to put out. I just don't have the time. And I also, I enjoy playing video games. I definitely do enjoy playing video games, but I already talked about this a couple of streams ago. I think it's just, video games to me are a personal thing. I enjoy single player games. I really don't like multiplayer things. And it's not that I don't, enjoy playing video games in front of a camera, especially when funny or stupid shit happens. That's cool. That's always cool. But it's also just another piece of effort that, me doing a comic, me doing writing, me doing, the Rykani cast stuff, me making a video game. I just need to reduce. I reached that conclusion before and then only partially carried through with it. So as a consequence, no more game streams. No regularly scheduled game streams, and if they happen, they'll be single part. Because just so I don't constantly have something in the back of mind telling me, oh, you only did 2 episodes of Cave Story. When's the final episode come? You only need to do Hell. Hell doesn't take that long. Just another thing to get off my mind so I can focus my efforts on other stuff. And there's a lot of other stuff to do and a lot of other stuff coming up. I might do... Yeah, I'm gonna put that idea out there. I think it probably makes sense for me to put out weekly updates though for my stuff. I don't know if I should do it in writing or in reading, or reading, I say, in front of a camera like this. I enjoy this format. This was always the most fun part of all streams and everything I ever did. Just sitting in front of a camera and being able to rant about stuff like people dropping out of studies, I suppose, but whatever is on my mind right now. And I already did it for almost 20 minutes at this point, so I think that'd be something I could do. It probably makes sense, especially it would help the issue of me just fucking dropping off the face of the earth, or rather the face of the internet. I'm still here, don't worry. You're not the main character of this thing. I am. So I don't despawn. I don't despawn when you close your eyes, don't worry. But god damn it. But it probably makes sense for me to put out, first of all, just to have any bit of accountability, to put a weekly update out there, and then, also being able to talk what's on my mind, having a progress report. Of course, progress reports are difficult if I'm not yet able or willing to reveal what I'm working on. That's why I considered this idea a couple times in the past, but I was always like, okay, right now I don't have much time for the comic or for anything else. So the only thing I'm really working on, usually when time is running low, I only keep up with the game, because that's the thing I'm most interested in, most looking forward to. And programming to me is also just kind of relaxing. It's something I really like doing. So whenever time ran low, I enjoyed drawing too, writing too, of course, but both of those feel like they take a lot of effort. There's a style to writing, there's a style to drawing that you need to keep in mind, and so many theoretical things. Coding is like, there's no style to coding. There's substance to it, but okay, depends on you know, the whole art argument and what is style, of course, but... And is writing good code a style? Sure, whatever, but... Coding is simple. There is no... You can't write ugly code. You can write bad code, but in drawings you can have bad drawings, and you can have ugly drawings. You can have good drawings that are ugly. You can have anatomically perfectly correct drawings that are still ugly. But, and I guess that kind of works in code, but it's very difficult. It's usually more effort to have ugly code than it is to just have clean code. So, you know, that's why my mind can, you know, turn off, relax whenever I'm coding. And that's something I really enjoy. And that's one of my favorite pastimes, depending on what I'm coding, of course, but it's really, I really enjoy coding. Yeah, no, exactly. Yep, that's pretty much everything. So games coming along, comics coming along, Rykani cast coming along. Output will increase in the coming weeks, because I'm now more or less free to do whatever I want. Got some social obligations, of course, now that some friends are coming over from other universities, coming back locally into, you know, so I can meet them. But apart from that, it's gonna be nothing like the last 3 weeks, which were just hell. And speaking of hell, let's play some Cave Story, why don't we? So let me... Where is the music? There is the music. Okay, let me... Controller is still on, that's good, because I'm pretty sure I'd have to restart Cave Story if the controller died. And exactly, here it is. I hope this is the correct save game, because I have made 15 copies of my copy of Cave Story after what happened the last stream. It isn't. Cut.